But hi, we're going live. We're doing it on this side. We're ready to go. Are you guys ready to catch up on all the Fannie Willis and Wade Trump shenanigans? Are we ready to do it? And to mute myself on this side over here. But guys, there has been a ruling today, and we're going to talk all about it. Judge McAfee is giving us a preview. And before we get into that, one thing that's really, really, listen to me as we get into this whole thing. One thing that's really important for you to recognize about Judge McAfee's decision is yesterday, Georgia had a Super Tuesday. Georgia had to decide whether there are going to be some candidates on the Democrat side, there are going to be some candidates on the Republican side. We need to pick a person on each of those sides, and they are going to be the candidates for the 2024 election. And guess who got picked on the Democrat side? Guess. It was Joe. Joe got picked on the Democrats. Well, how old is he now? What is he doing? Like, how old is Joe Biden right now? Can you guys tell me how old Joe Biden is in the chat? That'd be great. Let me know. So we have that. And then Trump got picked. So you're also like, but you had way more Republicans that turned out in the Georgia election last night than Democrats. And like, guys, like I come from Boston, a metropolitan city. Typically you have like more than 1 million people voting. Like here it was like 200,000 for the Dems and like 500,000 for the Republicans. What the hell's going on? What are we doing, guys? I know you guys hate that sound. People were complaining last time because my soundboard was too low. If you want it higher, you're going to hear the I know you guys hate that sound, so I will use it sparingly. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm not even gonna keep you guys from the news today. We need to talk about Judge McAfee. And of course, I'm doing this alone typically, and I'm sad. Typically, I do this with a partner in crime, and he's not available today. And that's the lead attorney. Typically, we would be doing this on his side and talking about all of this stuff together. But today, I'm going to be a big girl and do it by myself. And I actually have the court documents from Judge McAfee so we can look at it together. But before I do that, I want to see who I have in the building. I want to like look at all of you guys. It's not very often that I go live on my side. So we're going to do this over here. And then I'd like to actually bring up the ruling that Judge McAfee has issued today, where he has said out of 41 charges in the indictment that 6 of them are going to be dismissed and 3 of them relate to Donald Trump directly. So we're going to look at the document itself. I was looking at YouTube today. I was like, is anybody else covering this? Is anybody else showing the document? No one's doing it. Maybe I should do it. And then I'm like, lead, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Can we go? Can we do this? Can we do this? And he's like, you know what? Do it yourself. And I was like, oh, I think I can do it solo. So let me see if I can bring up the PDF all together. And then I'm going to go to you guys in the chat to see who we have in the building. I'm so excited that all of you guys are here. And while you are here, you might see something that is a little bit different. What is that difference? On the bottom, you see a website. What does that mean? What is this website? Everybody's been like, oh my God, Avy, I know you're an entrepreneur. Why don't you practice law? Because of this right here. because of this right here, because your girl has the heart of an entrepreneur, because your girl offers services to people on the YouTube side, but on the business side, because your girl has not only had 7 years of legal education, I also have 15 years of doing some things for some CEOs. And I don't mean the OnlyFans things. I mean like literally strategic communications. My website, after like 2 or 3 years, is finally ready. It's right there in the banner. Check it out. What's wrong with you? Look at it. Look at it for 5 minutes. Will you do that for me? Will you do that for me as I look up this document for us to look at? Because, you know, half of the people that are here are like, please just get to the news. Like, we don't care about you. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But if you're a nice person, check out my website. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think the user experience looks like, all of that stuff. But I won't hold you. We're 6 minutes in and people are like, F you, we don't care. We just want to go to the news. We want to go to the news. So let's go to the news. And we're going to share screen to Buffy here. Bam! Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Judge McAfee's ruling today. And if you've been living under a rock, then you don't know what's going on. Judge McAfee has been the judge that has been presiding over the Fani Willis, Nathan Wade shenanigans. Okay? We have been going through this entire saga. Cell phone records that show that Fani, and even in the State of the Union address, I think Biden had referred to her using, like, everybody's trying to correct everyone else. Like, no, it's Fani. That is the correct pronunciation of her name. Even Joe Biden the other day was like, no, Fani. Trump was like, Fani. We're all like, Fanny. Fani. Fanny? How do you pronounce this woman's name? Whatever. I know you guys hate that sound. One more time. So we're looking at all of this and we're like, okay, this is how you pronounce this woman's name, right? We have the shenanigans with the Nathan Wade being underqualified. I have an editor right now. We were working through it earlier today. 7 points in Ashley Merchant's delivery in front of a Senate hearing to tell you guys exactly why she should be disqualified outside of the courtroom setting, because when you're in the courtroom setting, people can object against what you're saying. They can, really limit what someone can say just fully. And I think what Ashley Merchant did beautifully last week was she was able to get the full case out. She was able to talk about every single point of her investigation. And honestly, like, sometimes that's what you need to hear. I thought this was interesting because, guys, if you are in a courtroom setting, sometimes an attorney cannot get that full story out. They have to do it in pieces, whether it is on direct examination, cross-examination, or in an opening or closing argument. But I thought what was nice, and for all of you guys that are listening, what I thought was nice is Ashley was able to lay out her full story. It was a 3-hour hearing. Shout out to Senator Jones. We're not going to talk about that. But Ashley was able to lay this out without interruption. And sometimes that's important. Even if it's on the alternative side, if you're able to see another party that's arguing against a point, if someone's able to lay out their argument just flat out with no interruptions, it's so smooth compared to what you would see with interruptions, objections, all of that. Guys, we like to call Ashley over here plot thickens. We like to call Ashley Pantene. And if you're new to me, then you're probably like, Avi, what the hell are you talking about? If you see me on another platform, shout out to the lead attorney. If you've seen me on another platform, that if you know, you know. You know what Pantene means. I got my hair done today, guys. I went to Dry Bar. My hair smells so good. I went to Whole Foods after, and people were like, oh my God, your hair smells amazing. I'm like, I know. But I really wanted to scream out loud to people like, it kind of smells like Pantene. It should smell like Pantene. But I didn't want to go that far. Half of you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. If you do know what I'm talking about, can you put Pantene in the chat? And women, you know that emoji that I'm talking about? You know the one where you're doing your hair like this? If you can do that in the chat, that would be amazing. Guys, instead, there's like a shower emoji on hair. If y'all could put that in the chat, then you know what I'm talking about. Then you know what I'm talking about. Well, listen, I won't even hold you. I want to go to what Judge McAfee said, because this whole issue with Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, they had a relationship, they denied it, and they were allegedly dating each other before he got assigned into the position of a special prosecutor to prosecute President Donald Trump on a bunch of charges. And it's not just him. There are a ton of indictees that were involved with this election scheme back in 2020. It's just ironic that we are going into a 2024 election year, and we need to figure out what's going on here in Georgia, because right now it's looking like a swing state. It used to be red, then it turned blue, and now we need to see what's happening here again. Where are the votes? Where are the votes? Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. But I'm really excited to be able to show you guys this document. It's a fun one. Here it is. The state of Georgia. I'm going to make myself small, and I'm going to try to zoom in as much as possible. We have all of that happening. The judge needed to make a decision on whether Fani Willis, DA Fani Willis, and Nathan Wade are going to be removed from this case. Let me preface this by saying we don't have that decision yet, but we will have it on Friday. What we have right now are, at least looking at the indictments, I thought that it was interesante that this news is coming out right after the Georgia election results came in last night. That's why I wanted to go live today. Literally, I was just like, oh my God, the results came in last night. Judge is doing this today, but the results are due on Friday. Let's get into it. Okay. So we have the Superior Court of Fulton County, right? We're talking about demurrers. This is a special legal term, but we're talking about demurrers. The defendants challenge counts 2, 5, 6, 23, 28, and 38. 6 total, guys. And the indictment by way of special demurrer. Demurrers provide a means for the criminally accused to ensure that the state's charging document satisfies the constitutional mandates of due process in the Sixth Amendment. Okay, here it is. It says, see Constitutional Amendment 6. The accused, this is the quote, that's important. This is important. My criminal law professor used to say this all the time. The accused shall enjoy the right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. So here we have to think about all the defendants. We have to think about Mark Meadows. We have to think about Rudy Giuliani, all of these people that are involved in this election scheme, right? You have to say, hey, person, here's what you are charged with. and here's how it makes sense. This is like dumbing it down, but like to the point where like, no, like defendants need to know you got charged with something. Like, here's how that shit makes sense. And I know people are like, oh, Ivy, please don't swear on your platform anymore. I'm trying really hard not to, but let's go back in. I'm sorry for the people that are offended. Anywho, so Sixth Amendment, they need to be informed about what these accusations are. They cite another case here that's from 2016. A special demurrer challenges the form of the indictment by claiming that the defendant is entitled to additional information or specificity. They cite another case here. Pretrial, a charging document that is expected to be perfect in form as well as substance. It's a 2023 case. The challenged language of an indictment should be interpretedly liberally in the favor of the state, with any objection strictly construed against the defendant. Another case. This is a judge. He's citing a ton of cases. Despite this, a pre-trial challenge does not require a showing of prejudice, and the trial court should examine the indictment from the perspective that the accused is innocent. Okay, that makes sense. McAfee, all people are innocent until proven guilty. You guys know justice is blind until we do this. Justice is blind. But we need to see where Judge McAfee's head is at. I want to keep going, right? He says, our appellate courts have provided a well-used standard for evaluating a special demurrer. There is a test. That test is not whether the indictment could have been more definitive and certain, but whether it contains the elements of the defense intended to be charged and sufficiently apprises the defendant of what he must be prepared to meet. In any case, any other proceedings are taken against him from a similar defense, whether the record shows accuracy to the extent that he may plead acquittal or conviction. Guys, what does this mean? Because, you're probably reading this. You're like, Ivy, this is a ton of mumbo jumbo, right? It really means that all of us, if you're watching this and you're accused of a crime, people need to come to court knowing what that crime is. And this is the prosecution side. Knowing what that crime is, but also giving you guys the opportunity for due process. That's something that we all have as United States citizens. It's due process. Due process is afforded to anybody, right? In this case, you have a United States president, but you also have people that were closely involved in the campaign. So we want to make sure that all these folks have the proper due process. Note that we are on page 2 out of 9 out of what Judge McAfee has presented today. So I just want you guys to know I'm very early in the document, and we're going to see how this is crafted. So if you're just joining us right now, we're looking at a lot of case law that he's citing. And of course, that's for good reason, because he's covering himself in the event of appeal. All right. So let's get back into this. So we talk about due process. He also says, turning to the indictment itself, these 6 challenge counts charge various defendants with solicitation of violation of oath by public officer and violation of a Georgia statute there. I'm not going to cite that whole thing. The crime of violation of oath of a public officer prohibits any public officer from willfully and intentionally violating the terms of his or her oath as prescribed by law. The term of this oath alleged has been violated must be expressly prescribed. He's doing this for a reason, meaning it is explicitly contained in the applicable statutory provisions. And guys, I'm going to read the super chats in a minute, but I want to get through these pages first. What is Judge McAfee saying here? He's like, hey, you have 41 counts against everyone that's involved with this, 6 of which are on Trump. I'm going to let go of 3. But before I do that, I'm going to let you know why. Right? We are really looking at this phone call where he called Brad, buddy here in Georgia, and it's just like, hey, man, there are some discrepancies with the votes. I need you, and this is what everybody is highlighting, guys, right now. I need you to find me 11,000 votes. But listen to that statement. Some people can take the find me 11,000 votes, meaning go fraudulently find me 11,000 votes. On the contrarian side, it can be questioning, hey, man, we should have had more votes. Why don't we have them? You guys let me know which side of that you're on. If you heard the audio, I mean, is it number one, a demanding side of him saying the words, find me the votes? Was it demanding? Or number two, was it questioning, like, hey, man, I need those 11,000 votes. Where are they? Some people might want to get down to the words that were used. But I find it interesting that after Super Tuesday here in Georgia, one day after, this judge did not rule on everything in the Fani Willis case. Instead, he let us know that some of these charges against Trump are going to fall off. And here's why. Right? The state also has to prove the burden. They also have an argument to make. Okay. So I'm going to make myself super tiny because I want you guys to see this. And when this live stream is done, I'm going to put this PDF in the description box or in a card above so you guys can follow along. Okay. We talked about being expressly prescribed, meaning that it's explicitly contained in the applicable statutory provisions. More case law here. I really don't want to read all of that. He talks a little bit about criminal solicitation. So there's another statute here. It prohibits one from intentionally soliciting, requesting, commanding, importuning, or otherwise attempting to cause another person to engage in felony conduct. The 6 counts are similarly structured and can be summarized as follows. So these are the 6 counts that are against Trump. Count 2 alleges that multiple defendants solicited elected members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December 3rd, 2020, by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. So that's count 2. Count 5 alleges that defendant Trump solicited the Speaker of the Georgia House of Representatives to violate his oath of office on December 7th, 2020, by requesting or asking him to call a special session to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. That's count 5. Count 6 says that defendants Smith and Giuliani solicited members of the Georgia House of Representatives to violate their oaths of office on December 10th, 10 days before, 2020, by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. This is all about the votes, guys. This is all about the electors. Count 23 alleges that multiple defendants solicited elected members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December 30th of 2020 by requesting or portioning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. See this? They're going through the defendants. That's count 23. Count 28 alleges that no, let me roll up. Count 28 alleges that defendants Trump and Meadows solicited the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office on January 2nd, 2021, by requesting or importuning him to unlawfully influence. Influence is an interesting word. The certified election returns. And count 38 alleges that defendant Trump solicited the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office on September 17th, 2021, by requesting or importuning him to unlawfully decertify the election. What I like to do, guys, is when we have 6 counts here, look at how all of them are different. So 2 is that multiple defendants did something. Right? They violated their oath of office and in appointing presidential electors. Multiple defendants. That can apply to every single defendant in this case. Count 5. This is where you get specific on Trump. Count 5 alleges that Trump solicited the Speaker of the House to violate his oath and asking him to call a special session to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. That's the second. 6, Smith and Giuliani. I mean, I don't think we're really worried about that right now. But this is specific to these defendants, how they would appoint presidential electors. Right? 23, elected members of the Georgia Senate. Do you see how vague that is? It doesn't tell you which ones. It doesn't tell you which people. It just says solicited elected members. Okay. RICO, we were able to do this under RICO. And we go back to presidential electors. 10 or 28 goes to Trump again and Meadows. What are they alleged with doing? Soliciting the Georgia Secretary of State, right? All these other things are in December 30th, December 10th. We go back to December 7th, December 3rd. All of these prior counts are things that happened in December. Now we're in January, and this is where we come back to Trump and Meadows. And they see that they were trying to influence someone to unlawfully certify election return. And then the very last one, specific to Trump, is that he solicited the Georgia Secretary of State in 2021, but in September. So we went from January of 2021 to September of 2021. The defendants argue that the indictment is defective because the charging language does not cite the oath each of these solicited public officers were required to take. I mean, guys, I kind of agree with this. It was so vague. That's why I wanted to show it to you. I wanted to break down those sentences to you. It was so vague where you're like, some people or this group of people, but you have over almost 20 indictees here. What did every specific person do to break a law and a RICO charge that is a criminal conspiracy to get all these people in trouble? A criminal enterprise that you charge to be under Donald Trump. I mean, honestly, tell me the truth, viewer. You watching this right now. If you were running for something, let's say it's the school president, We don't even need to go that high up. And people needed to vote for you. And if there was an issue for the votes, and if you made a call, I mean, maybe you would have not phrased it correctly. Put a 1 in the chat if you thought you should have won and you didn't, and you were like, "I'm gonna question it." Put a 1 in the chat if you would question the people that were involved. Or be honest, because I wanna be fair here, because there are some folks that are Team Fanny that are like, "Avie, what are you doing?" There are some folks that are Team Fanny. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, question nothing. Question nothing. You should question nothing. I don't care. The results are the results. So as we look at this, guys, I do think, and I see almost a ton of ones. Shout out to Valhalla. I see a ton of ones. I see a ton of ones, and I'm going to come back to the chat in a second, guys, but I really want to get through what Judge McAfee is saying here. We're on page 4 through 9, right? I think he is calling it straight. And a lot of us did not think he was going to do this, but we're only 50% through the document. Let's go back. Okay. So he says defendants argue that the indictment is defective because the charging language does not cite the oath of each of these solicited public officers that they were required to take. That is right. Notice how I'll go to 1. I go to the very last one. It says count 38 alleges that defendant Trump solicited the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office on September 17th, 2021. Which oath of office? There are multiple oaths of office. What are you talking about? So this also goes to show the state, aka Fani Willis's team, when they were slapping all these charges on all these people, you're not even being specific. What did Giuliani do? What did Mark Meadows do? What did Trump do? You have to be specific. And this is interesting, guys, because if any of us got in trouble, we would assume that whatever we got in trouble for criminally would be outlined to a T, like this is the crime that I committed. And you need to outline how I committed that crime. So this is actually a pretty good argument. And shout out to the judge that's like, hey, they didn't even talk about you're citing oaths of office. Which oaths? Which of those oaths have they broken? Judge didn't, he's like, which one? It's like, I'm confused. This omission is legally harmless, so it is a small thing, as the code provides only one option relevant to each category of public official. Each Georgia senator and representative must take an oath of office prescribed by OCGA. There's a statute. The governor, in turn, takes an oath prescribed by UGA, Section 45, 12.4, and the Secretary of State takes an oath. So he's saying, hey, here are the people that are public officials that take oaths. Senators, representatives, and the governor takes one, right? Without the possibility of alternative oaths prescribed by the law, the court agrees with the state that the defendants, he's given this to Fannie, the court agrees with the state that the defendants are sufficiently apprised of which oath is at issue in each indictment count. And there's a footnote. I'll go back to it in a second. Even if the relevant oaths are apparent as a matter of law, the defendants further contend that the counts do not detail the exact term of the oaths, this is what I just said to you guys, that are alleged to have been violated. The state first responds that the defendants are only charged with solicitation. Ooh. It's true. I read you guys all 6 of those. The first part of each of those sentences said that the defendants are charged with soliciting XYZ, soliciting this person, soliciting that person. But they were not specific enough to talk about which violation of an oath of office for all of those. This is bad for the Fannie team, guys. This is not good. Here's why it's not good. All of you are attorneys. It's not good because you need to be specific to everything that every defendant has done. But that sentence, and you can tell maybe it was a paralegal or somebody that worked in the office, when they copy and pasted that part, like, oh, they violated their oath of office. Well, which fucking part? I'm sorry, people hate when I swear here, but which fucking part did I violate? If I'm a senator and I have like 600 oaths of office that I need to like promise to, which one are you telling me that I broke? District attorney, DA, office. You guys should be able to tell me that. Did I do something wrong? Did I lie to some? What are you alleging that I did? Are you telling somebody I lied to somebody else? What did I do when I made a phone call? What did the president do when he made a phone call? Be specific, at least, for the very least. Because on the contrary, if this was a Democratic president, if it was Biden, I can't even picture it. If it was Bill Clinton with Monica Lewinsky, right? We all know what happened with that. If it was that situation, and if this was an indictment, we want to know exactly what Bill did, exactly what Bill said. And if he tried to cover it up and went to a state, if it went back to Arkansas, I mean, who lives in Arkansas? I love everybody that lives in Arkansas, but who lives in Arkansas? If you're in Arkansas, and if we call people in Arkansas, they're like, hey, cover up this conversation or whatever, you want to know exactly what part of the conversation that people had. It's like the game telephone. Who said what on what phone? We are in 2024. We have technology to combat this, but we're going to be so goddamn lazy in legal documents that we're not even going to tell people who did what or who said what or what oaths of offices people did or did not break. We can't do that. Shout out to Judge McAfee. Oh my God, she got points for this. And argues with the great weight of authority, has never required charging language to reach beyond the elements of solicitation itself. There's another footnote. He's quoting a case here. It says, Sanders tells us that the elements of the underlying predicate felony that is alleged to have been solicited cannot be so easily ignored. In Sanders, the Georgia Supreme Court found a special demurrer should have been granted with an indictment failed to sufficiently allege the underlying felony solicited by the defendant. In particular, for an alleged allegation of solicitation of felony drug possession. That's the other thing, guys. RICO is associated with like mobsters and criminal enterprises. Fannie was shooting out RICO to everybody. She's like, young thug, you get it. You get it. Pew, pew, pew. Everybody's getting RICO. Education people, you get it. Pew. Everybody gets RICO. That's actually like an intellectual question. Like, how does this apply to a presidential or election situation? Let's keep going. For an allegation of solicitation of felony drug possession, the court found that the indictment should have been averred to the special drug possessed and its quantity. Without this information, the defendant could not prepare a defense intelligently, as the crime would have been committed in a number of possible ways. When charging other compound crimes, the plot thickens, such as felony murder, the precedent is clear that the allegations must either include every essential element of the predicate offense or charge of the predicate offense in a separate count. In other words, a naked charge of solicitation cannot survive unless accompanied by additional elements establishing the solicited felony. Whew. What does that mean, taking it out of legalese, guys? If we look at all 6 of those counts that I showed you guys, the number one thing that you saw against all of those defendants was solicitation. It is the aiding, the abetting, the convincing someone to commit a crime with you. That's what solicitation is. So when Trump made that phone call, he's just like, hey, something doesn't seem right here. You could look at it as the questioning side, or you could look at it like the DA, kind of like you're trying to steal votes type of shit. So whatever spectrum you're on is fine. Stay there, right? But solicitation is the felony that he is being charged with, and all these other defendants can be charged with. When the judge says to all of these people that a naked charge of solicitation, whew, and you guys know, I'm not going to strip right now. When something is naked, it's like, hey, you're a human, but you're a human that's naked. Hey, we might have solicitation, but the solicitation is naked. The solicitation doesn't have any clothes on. The solicitation is on, I don't want to say house arrest. Is that the right word? What is the solicitation on? What do you guys refer to as stripping? On the pole? The solicitation charge is on the pole. Is it on the pole? I don't know. Yes, shout out to Will. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about naked charges of solicitation. I don't know. What do you guys want me to do? We're talking about this whole funny thing, and it's been wild from day one. And you want to get on me for talking about crimes being naked and documents. I think I'm being nice. Okay. All right. Let's get back to what the judge says. We're on page 6 out of 9. We're almost there. Okay. He also says all 3 statutory oaths contain, with some linguistic variation, a provision that the oath taker will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Georgia. Those are the superseding laws for the state and the country. The indictment, when detailing the manner and means of the criminal enterprise alleged in count 1, describes the defendants as soliciting Georgia officials, here are their quotations, to violate their oaths to the Georgia Constitution and the United States Constitution. Okay, let's go back. The indictment, this is what Fannie wrote, the document. When detailing the manner and means of the criminal enterprise alleged in count 1, describes the defendants as soliciting Georgia officials. Oh my God, I can't wait till my editor sees this later. To violate their oaths to the Georgia Constitution and the United States Constitution. Before I read the rest of this, guys, I want you to keep a very big word in your mind. And that word is how. Tell me how. Because that's what the judge is going to want to see. Tell me how. Oh, you're saying that these people violated this crime? Okay, no problem. Tell me how. Yes, I'm clapping. Tell me how they did it. That's what he's saying here. You're saying that they violated their oaths of office. First of all, you can't tell me which oath of office they violated. Now, the judge is saying, You can't tell me which oath of office that they violated. Now you're talking about the state constitution, the Georgia Constitution. Now you're talking about the United States Constitution. These are big allegations. Now there's 3 things you owe me. Where are they? I don't see them in this document. Shout out to Judge McAfee. Wow, guys. He also says, thus, reading the indictment as a whole, which the trial court is required to do, confirms that these are the prescribed terms at issue in the 6 challenged counts. While the advertisements do contain a reference to the terms of the violated oaths, this court finds that the incorporation of the United States and Georgia constitutions are so generic. Oh! He called them generic. Meaning that, like I said, they were so vague. They were so overbroad. You're not being specific. What did these people do? This is the problem with frickin' RICO. When you want to charge people with RICO, because there's so many people, it's hard for you to narrow things down to every single defendant. What did each defendant do? How do they violate the oath of office? Because look at it. What is there, 20 of them? You need to go through, and this is probably why she had to hire all these people. How did every single one of these defendants violate it? And that's why we are reporting on this all the time, guys. That's why Lead and I are reporting on this every day, because you have so many people filing a response. If you have 20 defendants, you're going to get 20 responses. But here's the thing. If everybody else is looking at the issue of impropriety, and maybe you guys that are prosecuting us, maybe you shouldn't be prosecuting us. You can't even be specific in these documents. And Judge McAfee's not done. We still need more decisions from him by Friday. But at least he is saying, let's slim down some of these charges because they're unnecessary. They are. But they're so generic that, if there's a special pair of socks that you can buy at Target that will fit us all. I don't know. Some of y'all have big feet. Some of y'all have small feet. But if there was one size pair of socks for all humans and we try to put it on, that's what generic means in this context. That sock is not going to fit me. It might not fit you. It might fit some, but does it fit all? It's generic. Legally, it is generic. Anywho, it's so generic to compel this court to grant special demurrers. On its own, the United States Constitution contains hundreds of clauses, at any which of them can be subject to a lifetimes of study. Academics and litigators devote their entire careers to a specialization of a special amendment. To further complicate the matter, the Georgia Constitution is not a mere shadow of its federal counterpart, and although some provisions feature similar language, the Georgia Constitution has been interpreted to contain dramatically different meanings. This is marked in contrast with saying, I think he says with say, aggravated assault with a handgun, which can be perpetuated as only a limited number of ways. An indictment that merely refers to a handgun is not too vague because it infers that a weapon was used either as a firearm or as a bludgeon. He actually has another good point here, guys. He's saying you're using a state constitution versus United States Constitution for reference in these materials. I just went through RICO and how much of a problem that is because you can't use one fucking sock and put it on every foot, right? This is what the Constitution is designed to do. Justice is supposed to be blind, although we know it's not. Justice is supposed to be blind. You can't take one fucking sock and put it on every foot. Here, we're also talking about, he uses an actual example of how some states interpret laws differently. Because there's two things. You have the federal constitution, which applies to all states, but then the states can make their own laws too. I hail from Massachusetts, guys. I'm a proud Bostonian. I live in Atlanta now. I live in Georgia now. It's the weirdest thing in my life. I miss Boston so much. But Massachusetts is one of the original colonies. And they have statutes and laws that were the weirdest things to learn in law school because it came from the 1600s and some of them have not been changed. We think about adultery. We think about some of these other laws, like it is legal to do certain things there that you can't do in I don't know, Montana, because Montana is a newer state. The laws are different in all of these states, but Judge McAfee beautifully here shows you, hey, here's something you can do in Georgia. Here's how a law is interpreted in Georgia, and here's how that law is interpreted in the United States Constitution. That's important because I suspect, I'm calling it right here, right now, that this thing is probably going to go up on appeal no matter what. It might take years. But if it goes up on appeal, there's a reason why he's citing Supreme Court cases or federal cases. Because it's like, I need to compare and contrast what we can do on the state level and what we can compare and contrast and do on a federal level, right? Now it's going to start to get real. Are y'all ready? I hope you're sitting down. I hope you're sitting down. Page 799. He says, the court's concern is less that the state has failed to allege sufficient conduct of the defendants. In fact, it has alleged an abundance. He's like, Fanny, it's not that you're like not giving them enough charges. You've given them a ton of charges, Fanny. You've actually given us too many. However, the lack of detail concerning the essential legal element is, in the undersigned opinion, fatal. Ooh, he said the opinion. Ooh. The lack of detail concerning an essential legal element is fatal. This is sports for nerds. Oh my God, sports for nerds. We love this shit. Sports for nerds. He's saying the fact that you guys can't even put essential elements in these documents, fatal. It's not just a problem. It's not just wrong. It's not just a bad thing. He used the word fatal. Can somebody define the word fatal in the chat? Is there a spammer, Quiet Storm? Oh my God. Waxy, stop it. He said, Fanny gave me the abundance this morning. Is that, oh my God, your picture, is it from Real Monsters? Do y'all remember that cartoon? Oh my God. I love cartoons. Okay. So yeah, it's fatal. As written, these six counts contain all the essential elements of the crimes, but fail. So they talk about the elements of the crimes, but they fail to allege sufficient detail. I told y'all, detail regarding the nature of their commission. How were the crimes committed? What did Trump do? What did Giuliani do? And like, again, I don't want to be on their side or anybody. I'm not going to use the word there because we human race over here. Any defendant's side. Don't throw stones at people if you're not prepared to be specific. Here's why this RICO shit is such a problem. When you want to throw a blanket over a group of people and say, here's what all of these people do, you need to be ready and able to say, here's what each one of these 20 people did. This is what the judge is saying here. if he's dropping 3 out of the 6 on Trump, it's kind of like, hey, you weren't specific enough to tell us what Trump did. He made a phone call. So if you're on the side that's like, hey, he made the phone call trying to be schemy, or you're on the side of he made a phone call and he's asking a question. So shout out to Judge McAfee. I actually think he's being fair here. I really do. But like if you're going on that side and you need to look at the spectrum, like that's what a judge's job is. And you also need to look at how do these rules apply in my state, but also how do they apply across the country. That's, you guys see these books in the corner over here. Each of those books is a body of law or a class that we have taken in law school. And cases like this, what we're reading right now, these 9 pages that we're reading right now, may actually end up in one of these books in the future for future law students to read. And these are the questions that we all grapple over. THANE is saying, hey, you guys have never tried to disqualify a DA in Georgia. Fine. This is going to be on the personal level, but has a DA in Georgia ever fucked around and found out? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not from Georgia. But because that has never been litigated before, these cases come with these questions. But I think as we're going to get deeper into this week, guys, this is why Judge McAfee is laying it all down, because he's like, okay, number one, let's start with the charges. I bet you tomorrow we're going to get more. I was just texting Lead about this. I bet you guys tomorrow we're going to get more on some other stuff. But at least he's laying it down because his deadline is Friday to let us know what we're going to be doing in the future. Is she going to be disqualified? That's what everybody wants to know. That's why y'all all tuning in and you all watching me. You're like, oh, is she going to get disqualified? We don't know yet. The fact that he has started on a Wednesday and it started by saying, okay, what is she charging him with? I'm going to predict that today we're talking about the charges. I think tomorrow's going to talk about the technicalities. We might get another document. And then Friday, we're going to get the bombshell on whether she's going to get disqualified or not. But you can already see, this is why this document is so important. We can already see where his mind is at. He's trying to be fair. He's not taking everything away, but he's taking some things away. But he's also calling her on her shit. Like, hey, guys, you guys were not thorough enough. You did not, out of all these indictees, you were not specific enough. Let's keep going, and then I'm going to come to the chat. I know you guys are like, AV, you're neglecting me. I'm coming. I promise. Okay, so they were not sufficient details regarding the nature of the commission of the crimes. They do not give the defendants enough information to prepare their defenses intelligently. That's also fair, as the defendants could have violated the constitutions and thus statute in dozens, if not hundreds, of distinct ways. Under the standards articulated by our appellate courts, the special demurrer must be granted on counts 2, 5, 6, 23, 28, and 38 quashed. Oh my God, he got rid of them. However, these pleading deficiencies do not apply to the corresponding overt acts listed in count 1, specifically overt acts 23, 42, 55, 102, 112, and 156. So he's not getting rid of everything, but he's getting rid of some things. Overt acts alleged as part of the conspiracy are not held to the same pleading standards as statutorily based offenses. This is in my opinion, a CYA sentence, a cover your ass sentence, because I think he's saying some of the stuff is not going to be the same as far as pleading compared to other offenses. Instead, all that is required is a reference to the overt act alleged by the state. And even then, a defendant can be found guilty of conspiracy even after acquittal. What? A defendant can be found guilty of conspiracy even after acquittal of any overt acts alleged to have been committed by that defendant, as long as at least one overt act is proven to have been committed by a co-conspirator. Defendants have not provided any authority, this is where he's coming at them, requiring that the particulars of an overt act be alleged or subjecting overt acts to the standards of general or special demurrers. The defendant's challenge of these overt acts is therefore denied. It is so ordered today, the 13th of March, 2024. That's it, guys. That was a judge's ruling. So there's a lot to unpack there. Half of it is a win. The other half of it is not a win. I say it's a win because some of the 41 charges against President Trump and others have been released. And I'm going to go ahead and break those down now. And I have my editor on deck. We're going to break this video down for you guys. But there are a few people that kind of got saved today. One, Trump had 3 of 13 charges against him dropped. Okay, so that's one. Those charges dealt with allegations that he asked the House Speaker Dave Ralston and Raffensperger to change the results of the election. So those 3 got thrown out. So that's a win. Number 2, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows had one of the 2 charges against him dismissed. Okay, 1 of 2. So Meadows is in the clear with one of them. And what he was charged with is setting up Trump's call on January 2nd, 2021 to Raffensperger, to Brad, asking him to find enough votes for Trump to win the state. Meadows is still charged as part of the overall racketeering conspiracy. So this man, I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about Mark Meadows, but I recognize the name. Imagine if this was you and me, and if your boss was like, hey, you need to make a phone call or set up a conference call. Meadows is actually being charged with setting up the fucking conference call. Okay, Rudy Giuliani, who served as Trump's campaign lawyer. Nick was here. We talked about the dye running down the side of the face and the things that he's into. He had 2 of 13 charges dropped as he asked State House Speaker Dave Ralston and I'm not reading right. 13 charges dropped dealing with the hearings in December 2020, where he and others asked state lawmakers to switch presidential electors. So that's what I guess Rudy did, is he was asking people to switch it. So that's a little bit different, and that's probably why he has 13 charges. John Eastman, a lawyer who helped develop the proposal to switch electors, had 1 of 9 charges dropped for a meeting with state lawmakers. Ray Smith had 2 of 12 charges dropped dealing with meetings with lawmakers. And then Rob Chile, there was a document lead and I didn't have an opportunity to cover. It came in over the weekend. We didn't cover it, but he's another lawyer and he had 10 charges dropped dealing with a meeting with a lawmaker. Another lawyer had 10 charges dropped. Oh my God. That's the thing. Like with this RICO thing, you just want to slap charges on everybody. It's like, you get a charge, you get a charge, you get a charge. Criminal racketeering enterprise. You need to be prepared to be specific. But what we know about Fannie's team is that you guys didn't have enough fucking hands to help you. So if you didn't have enough hands to help you get this done, you had to hire hands. But now we're hiring hands that are unqualified hands. Now we're hiring hands where you're putting cash in those hands. It's all good to hire contractors. But if contractors are not coming into work, but if you're also choosing to bring RICO charges against people, you don't even have enough staff on hand to help you with that. Let's go to the super chats because I miss you guys. We're going to take a super chat break. But the judge is calling it fair. But I'm going to come to you guys because I really want to run a poll and see if you guys think that he's going to completely call it fair. Remember, he's running for re-election. Remember, Fanny's running for re-election. Remember that Georgia over the weekend, both Trump and Biden were here campaigning and got results last night. And then today, we got this. Not the full ruling. We got a partial ruling. Shout out to the first super chat of the night, which is Miss Croce Shetty. I hope you're doing well. I talk about you all the time. I have these oven mitts that are crocheted. It reminds me of you all the time. I don't know your name. I don't know what you look like. I love you so much. But every time I grab hot things out of the oven, it reminds me of you, Miss Croce Shetty. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the $20 super. Shout out to Ron Alexander, who said, who needs lead? I mean, he does work, guys. Like, I know he says he's retired, but he still does like mediations. I've been itching to go live on this all day. I'm like doing the research. I'm like, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? And then at the end of the day, I'm like, here's all the links together. And he's like, you can go live on your own. It's all right. Like, we can go tomorrow. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna keep people waiting because like I talk to you guys. Like, you guys send me emails, DMs, you send me this stuff. So as I'm doing research, either for my videos or for these lives, I really take into account what you provide us as well. So Ron, we need lead. We do. We love us some lead, but I could do it on my side too, real quick, if I want to give you guys an update as the week progresses. So thank you for that one, Ron. Spears says, finally, been looking for good coverage. I mean, Spears, I hope you enjoyed it. I swore a little bit. I don't like when I do that, but I'm trying to come out of my shell. Let me guys, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much, Spears. Shout out to Erin Laura, who says, please hit the like on your way in. Thank you. Yes, if you guys can hit the like button for me. I don't lock people out yet because I'm too small. But I envision there will be a day where there'll be a deadbolt on the door and you can't get in. So you might as well become a member, or at least do me a favor. Hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. Shout out to Kat, fellow law tuber. She does her thing, guys. If one of the mods can drop her link in the chat, she has really good videos. I like to actually go to them sometimes to get some reference points. But Kat is amazing. She has collaborated with me here on my channel. We covered Jonathan Majors together. We did, I think, 1 or 1.5 episodes on it. I really want to say that because Kat really put some time and effort into research, and there's so many law tubers that are out here. But I really respect Kat for putting out information that is factual, that is authentic, because we all know that misinformation exists. So, Kat, thank you. Thank you for gifting memberships on my side. I see you all the time doing it on Lead side, and it's super sweet of you. And you don't have to do it. So thank you so much, Kat. I really, really appreciate that. Shout out to AL, a fellow Bostonian. He says, oi, AV, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm ready for spring. I'm trying to get the spring vibes. You guys see my new fresh flowers. I'm trying to get the spring vibes going. So really excited about that. AL, thank you so much. Tamara, are you on my side? Shout out to Tamara Allen. She says, get it, AV. You are amazing. Love your commentary. Tamara, I thought about you. I know you recently came up on Lead side. Tamara is Team Fanny, right? She's been very clear about that. Sweet woman. And it's been interesting because it's made me think a little bit differently about how I deliver content. Like, I want to talk about both sides of the aisle, right? And we can get to a centrist point if needed. But at the same time, tomorrow, we're going to call out some bullshit if we see some bullshit. I mean, oh my God, there's some bullshit. But tomorrow, I'm so thrilled that you are on my side. Thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate you, sis, and I hope you are doing well. Lewis says, Scottie Pippen holding it down for the team. Is he? Scottie. Shout out to Audrey. Audrey, hi. Thank you for sending a $20 super. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. Appreciate that, Audrey. We're going to Spears again. Wow, Spears. Spears is sending another super, and it says prosecutors can address the errors on specificity and make corrections. So the charges were dismissed, but not necessarily gone forever. Love you, AV. Thank you so much, Spears. It sounds like you have some legal chops over there. And yes, prosecutors can make changes. Charges are dismissed, but it doesn't mean that they're gone forever. But the charges got dismissed over here. I mean, the plot thickens. The plot thickens. We're looking at that. So Spears, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And for that being your second super, that's super nice. Shout out to Chris Creative. Says Nancy Pelosi said you have to prove your innocence. Is Nancy Pelosi... This is why I can't be a live streamer, guys. Like usually when I'm on lead side, like I keep my thoughts to myself, but now my thoughts by myself are coming out. I was going to say something bad. I was going to say, is Nancy Pelosi still in office? I really don't mean that in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? It's just she's getting up there in age. That's all I meant. You know you thought it too. Shout out to Lovely Soul, who became a new member. Shout out to Lovely Soul. I recognize your face. I think I've seen you on lead side, so that's been fantastic. The International Quiet Storm has been a member for 11 months. I've had memberships for a year. He might be the longest member, and he's popped a Molly, and he's sweating. He's like showing you guys. He's flexing. Like he's showing you guys, I've been here for 11 months, and I am not saying that you've been on drugs. International Quiet Storm. I don't know. That song came to my mind. What are we doing next? Jay White says, hello, AV7. You're looking beautiful as always. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for your assessments of this case. It looks like Trump wins. It looks like, Jay. We will see. We will see. I do think I want you guys to keep an open mind. As you have seen since we started talking about this, something new comes out every day. A judge moves with precision. If the final decision to disqualify Fannie is due on Friday, I am sure we're going to see more tomorrow. And I am sure we're going to see more on Friday. Just keep that in mind. I just don't want to call a victory just yet. Let's just keep watching. We're just going to have to keep watching. Okay, so shout out to Jay. Thank you so much. Shout out to Keyshawn, who says it seems McAfee has found his win-win. Maybe he's preparing to dismiss all charges against Trump and co. Therefore, no need to get rid of Fannie and Wade. Come on, guys. We got to get... Fannie and Wade got it. They have to face, I'm going to call it right now. Like, if you guys have wanted my personal opinion, I've not said this in other spaces. If you want my personal opinion, they need to be reprimanded for this shit. I mean, I didn't go to school and pay $150,000, $200,000 a year to be, or not even a year, in totality in student loans to be an attorney, to see other people that have done it for me longer that did not have to pay that amount to go to school and to pursue judgeships. They probably have student loans too. But when you're government employees, like, some of that gets cut off. So, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, some of this is offensive to actual law students or people that have really put in work in this profession. It's offensive. What are you doing? And you know, I did say this on Lead's platform. There's a very small amount of legal professionals that are diverse. What are you doing? It takes a lot to get here. Oh, Keyshawn. Mitch is become a new member. Thank you so much, Mitch. Mitch Mitchell sent a super sticker. You became a new member, sent a super. Thank you so much, Mitch. I hope you're doing well. GR says you're gorgeous, AV. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the 20. And are you from Spain? I see some action happening there with the little what do you call that? I like to call it a red blanket. What are we doing with that? And he sent a 25 super after. He says, "You, the lead attorney, and Nate the lawyer are top notch. Thank you so much for covering this case." I think I do recognize you from Leeds chat. Like, I have the time over there to look at the chat and see what people are doing. I think I remember your image. So thank you, because you are in for, yeah, just about $45. Thank you. Shout out to Wrench Turner. The South's gonna rise again. He says, AV, you in here talking heavy tonight. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to balance it, guys. Like, some people hate when I curse. Other people want me to curse. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Please let me know what I should do. I don't know. I'm going to look at the chat after. Shout out to Sam, I am, who sends $10. He says, great job, AV. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm trying hard out here, guys. So when I hear that from you, it really helps me. Shout out to the Pulse with David Carmina. He says, remember, the DA has 6 months to refile. That's right. That's right. What is David Carmina talking about? There could be a refiling here. There could be a refiling here, but the mess of the Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade story, it just continues. What do you want us to do? Shout out to JC. Jay, you got me in trouble the other day. I'm not talking to you. He says, hey, my future ex-wife, Jay. Nope. You got me in trouble the other day. It's not okay. But thank you so much for the 199 super. Shout out to the Lost Chicago girl. She says, I wonder if he dropped charges because he is going to let Fannie go. We're going to see, Lost Chicago girl. Clarity Speaks sends $20. She says, and I love your picture. I love your hair. I thought about that today. I was just like, should I just go natural and just wear my hair curly? You're inspiring. I love the picture. She says, the heart of the case was find me the votes. That was dismissed. I emailed you a lot of receipts proving voter fraud in 2020. The case is unraveling because of its BS. Guys, there's so many emails that we've gotten on this. And clarity, if we haven't gotten there yet, I apologize. I actually have hired people to help me. We are not through our inbox yet. Some of you guys hit me on Instagram. Some of you guys hit me on email. Some of you guys hit me in comments. Some of you guys hit me everywhere. It's hard to connect who is who. So if we gloss over that, that's one thing. But calling it down the middle here, but also calling bullshit when we see it. Find me the votes was dismissed is what she's saying, and we'll check out the receipts. Thank you so much for sending the email. Shout out to Miss J, who says, love you. That's it. Thank you. I love you too, Miss Joy. I said Miss J. Miss Joy. Let me put some respect on your name. Miss Joy, thank you. Love you too. Super sweet of you. And again, we up here like going through this, guys, going through these documents, sharing it with you all. Miss Joy, thank you. Shout out to Yvette, who has become a YouTube member. I just have a few more, guys, and then I'm going to get through some quick cash apps, and then we will continue because there's more. There is more, right? Judge McAfee still needs to give us his decision by Friday on whether Fani and Nathan will be disqualified. I talked to you guys about the Georgia election results that came in last night, right? You know, smaller turnout for the Dems, bigger turnout for the Republicans. How many people live in Georgia? And less than 700,000 actually came out to vote. It's looking a little swingy. It's looking like a swing state again. So we're going to look at that. And then lastly, some of you guys have been asking us to look at the Trump speech from campaigning this weekend. I don't know if I have time for that one. But a big thing y'all want us to look at is when Nathan Wade was working for Cobb County in 2020. And there's an interview of him where he's actually talking about inmates dying under his watch and how he was billed for doing that. The plot thickens. You know, it totally is. Okay, Guy sends $2. He says Judge McAfee is only 34. Oh, is he really? Oh my, he's the same age as me. Is Judge McAfee only 34? Can somebody verify? Can somebody fact check this? Judge McAfee is not 34. Guys, stop it. Geo says, so basically, the unexperienced Wade turned in a poor written case. Who would have ever predicted? This validates that Wade's ass needs to go. MAGA! Listen, Geo. How did this happen? If Fani's team was a big team because she had to outsource it, how did all these attorneys like mess this up? That's my question. And this is not picking a side. It is, I'm actually kind of where the judge is like, hey, you guys are saying that someone made a mistake. Where are the specifics for each of the defendants? What did each defendant specifically do? That can happen sometimes when we outsource work to like a big group of people. We're like, hey, here's the copy and paste thing of what you should do. But is that effective? And we can see right now that that has backfired a little bit. So I will call that on their side. Like they may have made a mistake there by outsourcing. If you insourced, yeah, your people will be tired. It's a lot of hard work, but at least they're going to be a little bit more connected to the material and to the case, where we won't see mistakes like that happen. So Gio, thank you. Shout out to Cam, who says, this is inadequate practice of law to the core, not just messy indictments. You need to be a lawyer to see horseshit. You don't need to be a lawyer to be horseshit. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Cam is a little bit of bullshit here. I mean, that's the thing. I know people are Team Fanny, and that's okay. You're welcome here. There's no problem with that. Like, there's no problem to challenge ideas or have some contrarian opinions. That's all good. But like, you need to do it in the right way, right? Shout out to Kim, who says 2 church speeches. Is there another one? 2 church speeches, extrajudicial comments, jury pool tainted, cases over. Kim is not playing with you guys. Kim is like, no. Shout out to Spears, whose comebacks again says no legal chops. Just heard that on some other law tubers. Lionel was a big buzzkill on my mood with his take that the charges could be bought again. Spears, this is why I'm not going too far into it. I just want you guys to see what came out today, and that is simply it. If you want my opinion, I already told you. Like, I do think I kind of side with the judge. You do need to be specific, but I also think that bringing on a RICO charge as a prosecutor is a little risky. I think you need to be careful with that. And if you are going to do it, you need to have your T's crossed and your I's dotted. You got to be ready to go. So interesting. GR says, yes, I am Spanish. Torero bullfighter. Wow. Listen, one of my favorite trips, I'm getting personal with y'all. One of my favorite trips that I've ever went to was to Madrid. I loved Madrid. I loved Spain. No one spoke English. And you shouldn't have to speak English when you go there. I was like, habla inglés? And they were just like, no, I don't speak English. What is wrong with you? Sorry for Flip the Bird. I'm getting a little personable here. But he sends $30, and that was super sweet of you. GR, I think you are like the stream sponsor now. Look at you. Stream sponsoring from España. Listen, like the stream sponsors from España. I think you're in for like $90 right now, but I also have some cash apps to read. So if I haven't gotten there yet, I'm getting there right now. So as of what I've seen so far, GR is a stream sponsor. And I miss España. If you're out there, man, let me know. It could be great to see you and others, Shout out to Legally Live, another attorney from Dallas. She sends a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, girl. She sends another one, Legally Live, $1.99. Shout out to her. And then last one, Julio. Julie, you had me cracking up the other day in Lee's chat. She changed her name to Julio #Pantene. She says Viva had Granddad on today. Guys, I saw that. Viva is a law tuber. He had Granddad on his channel today. Could not believe it. I was like, oh my God, that is amazing. Because we named Granddad. We gave him his name on our side in the lead chat in section 8. That's what we did, right? And she says, and I got a super chat to tell Granddad his closing was awesome and his walk off was gangster. Julie, no, you didn't. What did he say, Julie? I can't wait. Tell me what he said. Carlina became a YouTube member. Okay, I've caught up with all the supers, guys. I can't believe Grandpa is in these YouTube streets. Let me go to my Cash Apps real quick and make sure I got everybody, and then we will move on. Of course, JC is the first dollar. He says, tuned in to see my boo thing. Got me in trouble the other day, Jays. You better stop. Shout out to Drew Beats, I believe. He sends $5. He says, well, you aren't the Southern Belle today. I am. I'm not. Is that when I was swearing? I'm sorry, Drew. This is so irregular of me. Shout out to UD Best, who sends $20. She says, AV in the house, we love you. I love you too, UD Best. Thank you. That is so nice of you. I really appreciate the Cash App. Dumas sends $10 even. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. Dumas, or I believe Ernie 3D. Thank you. And then, ooh, I have an unknown person that is now the stream sponsor at $100. So I'm going to go and put her. Yes, her. Shout out to Women's History Month. I'm going to put the unknown stream sponsor because she asked me to keep her anonymous. We're just going to put AN in the chat for anonymous. If you guys can do me a favor and type in AN in the chat, that would be fantastic. It is a woman that is sponsoring the stream that we're watching. And yes, guys, we needed to look at Judge McAfee's results. I looked through my YouTube feed earlier and I hadn't seen anyone cover this court document today. I saw people talking about the news, but I don't think anybody covered the court document. And that's what you're going to see here that's different is we're actually looking at where Judge McAfee's mind is at. And thank you guys so much for shouting out AN, who is technically anonymous, but I love her. This is really, really sweet of her. It's probably the first time I've seen her in my chat and blessing me the way that she did. So it's really, really, really cool. Shout out to More For Me, who says, yeah, I don't think she's allowed in Southie. For those that are natives to Boston. And this is not about you, AN, but it's this, you know. South Boston is an interesting place. I don't even want to get into the townies. You guys are here to talk about this Trump thing and the Fannie thing. Lead and I, the other day, we talked about Nathan Wade's divorce. And I was debating with him over the weekend. I'm like, listen, dude, out of all people that need to cover this clip of the attorney for Jocelyn Wade, like, I don't even feel qualified. You need to do it. You need to do it. Like, you're America's divorce attorney. And he did it. And it was a great stream. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you have not caught up on all of the shenanigans, please go look at that stream because it's too funny. Shout out to Stu. Stu, I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? He's like, AV checking in from England. He's across the pond. Stu is across the pond. And he's saying, you're looking beautiful as always. Keep up the great work. Stu, I see you in all of my comments. And I always like keep your name in the back of my mind. I'm like, where's Stu? If I see Stu again, I need to say hi. Shout out to Boston, Mass, who says, Dottie rules. Dottie rules. Dorchester rules. If you know, you know. Okay. Okay, guys. Yes. Is the verdict in? Unashamed apologetics. We're going to have to wait a smidge, a little bit longer. The judge, I believe, is long stroking us a bit. Okay. So it's coming. GR says Stu is my neighbor. Hola, Stu. Listen, GR is in he's in Spain. The Spanish voice. I'm just saying. Okay. Let us go to people have been DMing me about this, so we're gonna do it. There's a Nathan Wade interview from 2020 on when he was working for Sonia in Cobb County, and he was getting paid $5.50 an hour. And at the time, there were inmates dying on his watch. I believe there's a video. I just want to make sure the video's good before I play it so I don't get demonetized or anything. Shout out to the person that DM'd me with this. I love when you guys send the investigative reporting. I almost posted today. I was like, if anybody has the court document, I'll pay you $50 just to send it to me. I ended up finding it myself. But like, you guys are so good at finding this stuff. Okay. This is an 11 Alive thing. I just want to make sure. I don't think they actually interviewed Nathan in this. This is why I like to watch this stuff first, guys. Oh, yeah, I can't play this on YouTube. There's a naked inmate. Should I do it? Put it one in the chat if I should just risk it. You guys are going to be responsible for this if this happens. I don't see any ones yet. That's good. Oh, this is one. Damn. RTPY. Oh my gosh. Jay. Mr. Told You. Here we go. Rex, thank you for being sensible. Vincent, thank you for being sensible. Everybody's like, share it. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm going to share it. I'm going to get in trouble. But I love you guys. Just remember that, all right? Judge orders Cobb County co-sheriff to turn over files on jail deaths. Valhalla, it's too late. It's already on the screen. Oh man, I'm sorry. Here we go.
To release records related to inmates who have died at its detention center. Now, the order is in response to a lawsuit 11 Alive filed against Sheriff Neil Warren.
So this lawsuit here, it alleges that the sheriff violated the Open Records Act by withholding public documents by manufacturing a bogus investigation to conceal those records. Andy Parati explains why 11 Alive requested those documents.
Why?
The records involve 2 inmates who died at the county jail more than a year ago. 11 Alive requested those documents in August. The sheriff said no, because a private attorney was conducting an independent investigation into their deaths. During a hearing earlier this week, we've learned that wasn't exactly true.
Ooh, who's lying?
The sheriff's department.
This is the man currently conducting an extensive...
Sorry, this is goddamn worth it. Is that Nathan? Is that Nathan? That's Nathan from... Oh, it's Nathan! Oh my God, guys, it's Nathan. We have to watch this. What is happening? How is Nathan here? In 2020?
Conducting an extensive review of the Cobb County Detention Center. Private attorney Nathan Wade.
Our mission was to conduct an assessment and review on cases involving neglect/death at the jail, use of force at the jail, and racial discrimination.
In June, Cobb County Sheriff Neil Warren asked Wade to do it after a series of deaths at the jail. 5 months into his work, he had little to share with 11 Alive attorney Derek Bauer when asked where his assessment stands Monday afternoon.
So you do not have a single record in your possession that's associated with the review and assessment that you've been engaged to undertake?
I do not.
Is your law firm?
Oh, why does this seem familiar?
No, sir.
Wade said,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt it. Does this seem a little familiar? I don't recall. I don't remember. I wasn't in Fanny's Fanny. I wasn't in Fanny's house. I wasn't at 2 Chain's house. I didn't pay her any money. I didn't get paid back in cash. I wasn't there. I was there less than 10 times. I wasn't getting paid all of this money. I didn't have all of these contracts. I didn't have any of these things. I didn't put money in my IOTA account. I didn't do any of that. This is crazy. He's back in 2020. Is this before he was a judge or after? Oh, Nathan, this is not good. This is still on the internet.
Says he's reviewing 5 years worth of
Sonia
jail debt free
Allen.
of charge. He claims he's reviewed hundreds of documents involving at least 12.
Did y'all see the sign? It says Sonia Allen. Let me go back. Hold on. Oh, you see that sign? It's the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility. Sheriff something Warren. Chief Deputy Sonia Allen. Oh my God. Oh.
He claims he's reviewed hundreds of documents involving at least 12 inmate fatalities so far, which included re-interviewing deputies. But he did not have a single note or record to share.
As your review and assessment for the Cobb County Sheriff's Office stands today, you have no work product whatsoever associated with that undertaking, correct?
Oh, I have work product. It's just not in the form of documents, communications, or record memorializing, reflecting evidence, or relating to the work.
He's reading a sentence.
Okay, well, what work product do you have?
Well, I have obviously my brainchild, what's going on in my mind about it.
I said it again. Nathan, as an attorney, you know that we use certain programs to bill our clients properly. Is that correct? Yeah. We use that. Meaning that you're comfortable and you know how the software works. That means every 6 minutes you bill your client properly for doing work on their case, right? And we also know that in the Trump case that you did block billing, which is not a typical normal practice. Do you guys know me and my editor went back and forth on this today? We wanted to do like 10 minutes on block billing. I said, you know what? Reduce it down. But now I'm like, maybe we should go back to the 10 minutes. Why are we showing you guys this clip? This is a pattern of Nathan's behavior. Last week, Ashley Merchant at the Senate hearing was like, I wish I had some nail polish. I could just start painting my nails. Ashley Merchant was like, hey, Nathan, or Nathan Wade was billing taxpayers practically and getting paid all this money to work on this case. But he was not being descriptive on his tasks while he was working on the case. We saw things like meeting with person billed for like $4,000. And it's like, dude, you can't do that. You know you can't do that. You were a judge, you were a lawyer, you were in private practice. Now we have an interview that we're all watching right now where people are asking him, like, how do you do your billing? Let's go back. Let's go. We have to go back. I'm going to make myself super tiny. I'm going to go back like 20 seconds to see what his answer is when this attorney asks him the question. I can't believe we have this. Shout out to the person that DM'd me this clip.
I have work product. It's just not in the form of documents, communications, or record memorializing, reflecting evidence, or relating to the work, as you've put it here.
Okay, well, what work product do you have?
Well, I have obviously my my brainchild, my what's going on in my mind about it. That's what I have.
You heard that right. The work he's produced over the past 120.
I love news people. They're like, you've heard that right, Bob. All his work is up here. And that's what Nathan said in the last proceeding. When they were like, hey, where is proof of the work product that you did? What does that mean? That means that the hours that you've billed clients for, we should be able to prove that. And I believe that Ashley Merchant said in the Senate hearing last week that some counties in Georgia will actually make you show the work that you did. So if I took an hour to draft a contract for you, dear viewer, like I'm going to be able to produce that contract. And I should be able to talk to that contract. Like, so if someone asked me like, hey, why did it take you an hour? I'm going to be like, hey, well, it took me an hour because I needed to go find these 3 statutes and I needed to craft the language and edit this document down to my document. That's what it is, right? Like I needed to do it to craft it to my client's situation. That's an acceptable answer. But with Nathan, when people are asking him questions about his work product, which is legalese for at the end of those billable hours, where can we find the work that you produced? He's saying it's in here. It's in my head. It's in his cabeça. Portuguese word for head, but like, that's not acceptable. Why do you get to say that? The rest of us have jobs. The rest of us, like if we made a mistake or if our boss asked us a question and we can't answer it or produce it, we'd be on a verbal warning, a written warning, and we'd be freaking fired. You get to make all this money on taxpayer dollars and in 2020, it was in your cabeza. And in this Fannie case, it's in your cabeza. Do you guys know that Trump calls him Lover Wade? I'm not going to go into that. Let's get back to this video, though, because I mean, wow.
3 days, all in his brain. And when he did use paper to document his findings, he threw it away.
Got done with it, destroyed it, and walked out.
Okay, so when you did take notes, you destroyed them when you were finished with the interview?
Yes,
Wow.
They're in the sheriff's department.
2 of those inmate deaths include Reginald Wilson and Bradley Emery. Both of their case files closed last year. But when 11 Alive asked for their records in August, the county attorney wrote, Sheriff Warren requested an independent law firm investigate circumstances surrounding the inmate deaths.
Why?
That would be Mr. Wade. And that state law allowed the agency to withhold records until the conclusion of his investigation. There's just one problem. Wade admits he's not doing a criminal investigation at all.
Whatever it is, it is.
Oh my God. Did you guys hear that? Wade would have been the person that would have had to investigate this further, and he didn't. All right, let's see why.
Is not a criminal investigation, correct?
That's correct.
11 Alive filed a lawsuit against Sheriff Warren in September, claiming he was violating state law by withholding public jail records and that Wade's investigation is illusionary in an effort to shield thousands of public and potentially damaging records from disclosure in an election year. Sheriff Warren is running for re-election in November. Wednesday afternoon, Cobb County Superior Court Judge Gregory Poole ordered the sheriff to release the records to 11 Alive.
Now, Andy, the sheriff originally denied providing any records for these 2 inmates following a scathing investigation that you produced about the detention center just before, right?
Ron, that's correct. In August, our review investigative team uncovered 2019 video of an inmate named Cavell Wingo seen begging for medical help.
Did you guys see that guy just now? They said he was begging for medical help. No, we're going back. I'm sorry. We're going back a little bit. Look, he's literally lying. Look at him in a wheelchair. Wade didn't want to help him? Ooh.
August, our review investigative team uncovered 2019 video of an inmate named Cavell Wingo seen begging for medical help and complaining that he could not breathe for hours. Instead of sending him to the hospital, jail staff put him in a padded room where he died. The sheriff continued to provide jail death records, but stopped after we published our investigation into Wingo's death. Today's ruling is a big win for the public's right to know. Now we're hoping the sheriff produces the documents the court has ordered him to do so. We reached out to Sheriff Warren, but did not hear back.
Some of you guys are asking me, and that is disturbing. This story is disturbing. Like inmates are dying on Wade's watch, and some make this big. Inmates are dying in 2020 during an election year on Nathan Wade's watch while he was working under Sonia Allen in Cobb County at $5.50 an hour. You can't make this up. Happy KS Day. Can you guys type in KS in the chat? Happy KS Day. You cannot make this up. So I'm just trying to fabricate all of this in my mind. 2020. He's working under Sonia Allen and might be getting it back with lasagna, right? 2021. He starts to deal with Fanny in that 11-month period where we have cell phone records from Cell Hawk that Boots introduced in court. 2021, November 1st, he gets appointed as special prosecutor in this Trump RICO case. November 2nd, he files for a divorce against his wife, Jocelyn. Can't tell you how he, as a lawyer, worked on court records because all of it's up here. I'm not a practicing lawyer right now, but even I'm like, this sounds like a little bullshit. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Wow. Thank you guys for typing KS in the chat. I mean, you can't make it up. What is this? So I'm gonna rewind and then read a few more supers because you guys are like, no, I want to see him say it again. And this time I'm not gonna interrupt. I'm just gonna let it play. He said the same shit he said on the stand 2 weeks ago. That the way that he bills, he keeps it up here. 3 years ago, he said the same thing.
You have no work product whatsoever associated with that undertaking, correct?
Oh, I have work product. It's just not in the form of documents, communications, or record memorializing, reflecting evidence, or relating to the work as you've put it here.
Okay, well, what work product do you have?
Well, I have obviously my brainchild, what's going on in my mind about it. That's what I have.
You heard that right. The work he's produced over the past 123 days, all in his brain. And when he did use paper to document his findings, he threw it away.
Got done with it, destroyed it, and walked out.
Wow.
Okay, so when you did take notes, you destroyed them when you were finished with the interview?
Yes, they're in the sheriff's department.
2 of those inmate deaths include Reginald Wilson and Bradley Emery. Both of their case files closed last year. But when 11 Alive asked for their records in August, the county attorney wrote, Sheriff Warren requested an independent law firm investigate circumstances surrounding the inmate deaths. That would be Mr. Wade, and that state law allowed the agency to withhold records until the conclusion of his investigation. There's just one problem. Wade admits he's not doing a criminal investigation at all.
Whatever it is not a criminal investigation, correct?
That's correct.
11 Alive filed a lawsuit against Sheriff Warren in September, claiming he was violating state law by withholding public jail records and that Wade's investigation is illusionary in an effort to shield thousands of public and potentially damaging records from disclosure in an election year. Sheriff Warren is running for re-election in November. Wednesday afternoon, Cobb County Superior Court Judge Gregory Poole ordered the sheriff to release the records to 11 Alive.
Now, Andy, the sheriff originally denied providing any records for these two inmates following a scathing investigation that you produced about the detention center.
I'm sorry. I don't want to look at the detention center thing again. I mean, that was really disturbing. I really wanted you guys to go back because someone super chatted that they wanted to see it again. Nathan saying the same shit that he just said 2 weeks ago. And what's worse is as he was working for Sonia Allen and making $550 an hour. Do you remember that sign I showed you guys? I said, is that Sonia's name? Cobb County? Underneath, is that Nathan's name too? It was. And as we went through that timeline, let's call it the air timeline. I wish I had an actual graphic timeline to show you guys. 2020, 2021. You go from this jail shit to prosecuting a president. I don't know how this adds up. I really don't. I really don't understand how this adds up. Shout out to Ear IRS. Big Nate is a pookie. I mean, don't tell us this Nate is a clown ninja. John says, Crooks, what is this? The math is not mathing. And that's the other thing. Fanny saying they needed all this help to contract this work out, and Nathan wasn't her first choice, and this and that. How do you go from the first choice? Wasn't it like the former governor or someone super esteemed as the first choice? Even if Nathan was the third. Up with you on supers. I think I caught Julie. Shout out to Carlina, who became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. GR became a new member. Thank you from Spain, España. Shout out to E. Capone, who says, you're such a Libra, AV. I don't know what that means, but yes, I am a Libra. Shout out to Jason, who says, new member. He's a new member. Jason, you were in here. Guy Incognito, he has the bangers sometimes. He's back. He says, Nathan and Fanny need to be banned from the barbecue for making us look bad. Let's trade them for Ashley and the double E's and a bottle of Pantene. We can totally do that. We can totally do that. Julie says, for $4.99, she says, brain drain, $35,000. I mean, do you bill them for saying that? Because it's all in here, apparently. Shout out to Ivan, who says, anything that says report means paper written. That is correct. Shout out to Ivan. Spears, you're back with $2. Says, maybe charge specifics were in his head. I mean, what's in there? What was in his head? Shout out to Vincent, who says, please replay Nathan one more time. Dead. Ain't no way. I mean, I played it for you, Vincent. Did you see that? Vincent, did you see that? Shout out to Cam, who says, Killer Cam. Cam says, unfortunately, this is the kind of lawyer that gives attorneys a negative stigma. I mean, yeah. Other than not being qualified to do any job assigned, he's a liar. Cam, I couldn't have said it any perfectly myself. What was this dude doing? Okay, I really am having a hard time understanding right now. Thank you, Cam. Shout out to Victor, who says, to cuss or not, be who you are. Look at EBD. Emily Baker, I think. Emily D. Baker. She embraces the cussery words and is doing well. That's actually a good point. Yeah, like let me know, guys. I'm gonna do another poll. One, if you don't mind me cursing, or two, if you're like, AV, this is like wildly offensive. It's not girly. Please do not do this. It's let me know. I'm really trying to figure it out. Sometimes it's hard because I see debauchery like this with Nathan. I don't know what else to do but curse. It's hard to keep it in. It's hard to keep it in. You see inequities, qualified people, unqualified people. Qualified people that work hard, that get shit done. People that don't, but, you know, are a fun time. I don't know. I don't understand that logic at all. Guy says black women in ATL paying to get digged down by Nathan. I mean, he might actually be.
Are you skeptical of?
Sorry about that, guys. He might actually be like the next hot thing in town. I don't get it. Shout out to Mitchie, who says Wade is a crook, allegedly. Shout out to Mitch. Thank you. Thank you for that one. Rogue Mama says she became a member. Thank you so much. Whoa! Methalas! Stain! Mithra is in the chat. Thane, the #1 investor in my channel. Thane, thank you so much. And I'm not even gonna call you are the stream sponsor. Anonymous, I love you so much. Thane, just not we have a battle here. Thane gifted you guys 50 AV7 memberships. Man, listen. Can you guys please type in Thane in the chat? Please do that for me. I was thinking about Thane today, and specifically because like the other thing you guys can see in my description and in my banner here is I started a business. Everybody is always asking me, hey, Abby, how come you decided not to practice law right away? You know, you went to university for legal studies, you got your 4-year degree and, you know, your bachelor's degree in legal studies, and then you went to law school for an additional 4 years. Like that's 8 years of your time. Why aren't you practicing? I went to school part-time. I worked really hard. Like I went to school not as a regular student. It sounds bad, but as a non-traditional student. I was still working in corporate America. And when, you know, towards the end of my law school tenure, I was making like $180 a year. And I'm like, I'll make some good money right now. But I know I have an entrepreneur spirit in my heart. So I can do this law tube thing with you guys and use my degree there. But you guys can also check out av7digital.com and you can really see where my heart has been and where I've been working hard for the past few months. Thane is a person where when I started this channel, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm going to keep it respectful when Thane is here and not curse as much. But I did not know what I was doing. I did not know where the future would land, where it would end up. I did not know how passionate I would be about other professionals on this platform sharing their knowledge when they don't have to do it. Please type Thane in the chat. Like, I'm just so grateful. You sometimes give to a point where I feel like I don't deserve it. You know, like sometimes I feel like I truly don't deserve it. But I know that Thane values hard work when he sees it. He values potential when he sees it. And that's why he supports creators in the way that he does. Thane, thank you so much. I'm always baffled. Always baffled when you come through. And if you guys got a membership from THANE, please do me a huge favor and say thank you to him. He does not have to be here or do that, but he is giving you guys an opportunity to get a little bit closer to my world, to Lee's world, to this world where we're content creators. Like, and I'm using my membership tab, man. Like, I asked you guys this weekend, like me and my editor, we had 3-4 videos that we wanted to work on. I asked you guys which ones you wanted to see first. So for those that are members, not only will you have the opportunity to be in the chat, I'm also really going to talk to you like I'm making decisions for my channel. Like, hey, what do you guys think? Hey, do you want to look at this first? I'm going to give you sneak peeks of things. So being a member has its privileges. You know, I really want to shout out THANE for this. This is too sweet. And again, I feel like I don't deserve it. But at the same time, like it keeps me going. It keeps me working really, really hard. So I really want to shout out THANE for that. I'm typing it in the banner, but if you guys can really say thank you to THANE, know how important he is to me. If you ever do come to Atlanta and I'm still here, it would be great to hang out with you, THANE. Seriously, it would. So thanks again for all these memberships, everything you do for the community, not just me, but all the creators that you support. It's fantastic. So THANE, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And I hope you didn't walk in when I was dropping F-bombs. Now I'm embarrassed. Shout out to Julie who says, AV, my second favorite F word. AV, free is my second favorite F word. So I voted for the cursey words always. Okay, cool. Awesome. Ivan, you're gifting out memberships too. I mean, you guys are just spreading the love today. You're spreading the love. I mean, we talked about the Nathan Wade thing. We're looking at how the math ain't mathing, how a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense when you have qualified people and you have unqualified people and how that works. It's insane. If you received a membership from Ivan, I will also ask that you say thank you. Ivan has been a huge supporter in this community as well, especially with this series. We've been talking about this topic and he's been all over it. He's been on my side. He's been on Lee's side. Julie, a few of you guys have been on both sides, just really showing some support and love. And it's been fantastic. If you received a membership from Ivan, please tell him thank you. That would be huge. That would be huge. Shout out to Zena, who says, just to prove what I've been saying for a while now, God help is hard to find. And a thank you to THANE. Stay blessed. Yes, you guys are shouting out THANE. It's amazing to see how generosity can go a long way. Zena, thank you so much for your support. Shout out to GR, who's coming back in from España. He says, I hope you cover the city girl super mayor Tiffany Haynard. That is a juicy story. I've been like looking at it from the sidelines and I'm like, I already don't have time. But we might need to expose Tiffany a little bit. I don't know. I don't know, GR. Stop it. GR, look at that. 100 AV memberships. 100. That has never been done on my channel before. Like all of you people that are just finding me, THANE was actually one of the first guests that I pulled up on my channel. That's how deep this goes. And I make mistakes. I say some crazy stuff. Sometimes it's not on code. Sometimes it's not okay. Can you guys please type THANE? Do it again. Do it again. Type THANE too. So I know you did it twice. Type THANE in the chat. Wow. Wow. That's insane, THANE. Oh, and then THANE, you're gonna love this. I put 10. THANE did 100. Ivan did 20. Community is growing. I want to stay on top of this with you guys. This is the perfect week for both Thane and Ivan to be showing you guys this love. You know, I'm going to be ears to the ground as soon as these reports come out. I'm going to let my community know first. I'm going to let you guys know in the membership area first. Another post we did last week is the day lead texted me. He was like, we're going to go live at 2:00. You know what I did? I went to my members. You guys were begging us to go live that day. Went to my members. I was like, hey, members, guess what? We're going live at 2:00. You know, here first. Membership has its privileges. And the fact that these brothers are taking care of you guys is really sweet. Thane especially. Streams like investor of channel. Like it's not even stream sponsor. Investor of channel. Thane here. It's just right here. If I could just have his name just here permanently. There are people that invest in this channel. And Ivan, like, you're new. But this is really sweet of you too. You don't have to do that. Super sweet of you. I appreciate both of you guys, but Thane especially. I'm like, Methalas. Like I was practicing. I'm like, how do I say his new username when it's time? But I'm glad that tonight I didn't have to do that. And I could just shout you out for the beautiful person you are, Thane. Thank you. Thank you so much. 100 memberships. This has never been done here. Insane. Thank you. Serious. Obrigado. Like if I have to pull the Cape Verdean out, like, wow. Thank you. And same thing, Ivan. Thank you so much. Ivan, I think you're from Brazil. Obrigada. If y'all's Portuguese is very different from ours. Thank you. Shout out to M1 who says, greetings from the UK. You are doing an excellent job. I'm seeing a lot of people from across the pond. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys seem to be really interested in this case. Really, really interested. Okay, guys. I showed you the debauchery with Nathan Wade's stuff from 2 years ago. The other thing that Lead and I covered was Nathan Wade's divorce and the shenanigans that were happening in that particular case. We were going to do a video on it. Probably not going to, because I think, you know, the benefit of having Lead in this space is, you know, he is a family law attorney. You're not going to hear it anywhere better than there, right? We covered that 2 days ago. So if you haven't seen that, I'll try to drop a card after this so you can check it out over there. But yeah, we have McAfee's ruling today. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'm pretty sure some more shenanigans are going to come out, right? From McAfee's standpoint. We had the ruling today, but it was a partial ruling. That means that we got some of it. That means that we got the piece where it was just along the lines of the indictment. We haven't heard anything to see if Fanny is being disqualified yet. So within the next 48 hours, I want you guys to do me a favor. Hit the notification bell here on my channel. Please go to the Lead Attorney's channel and hit the notification bell there. You need to hit it because in order for you to be up to speed, the minute that we drop this, you guys are gonna want to stay locked in. And wow. You want to talk about people that blow things out of the frame? I just mentioned that it's a record on my channel to have 100 memberships. They found a way to make it 150. 150. 150. 150 of you guys are going to be locked in on this no matter what. THANE is giving y'all access. THANE is giving you guys like access to the VIP line. I'm small, but if I want to turn this to members only, and if you have a membership, you better say thank you to THANE. TLA can't make it tomorrow. Whose stream you gonna watch? And if I just lock you outside, who gave you the key? I believe that gentleman's name is THANE, and please say thank you. That has never been done on this channel before. Like, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm looking at both of this. You guys can't see it switched on the screen. THANE gave 200 memberships. 200 memberships, 200 people out of all 19,000 of you. 200 people got memberships. Metalas. Shout out to Metalas. I hope I'm saying it right this time. THANE's not playing with y'all. And I think I might actually have to be members only in the chat if we go live tomorrow and Friday. And if you are a member tomorrow, you're going to get the notifications probably an hour before Lead and I go live. And if I want your opinions, you're going to be able to participate in polls. If I want you to see things early, THANE gave you that black card. Whew. THANE is on a roll. He really is. But THANE, thank you. Don't have to do it. But I'm letting you guys know right now, whenever you want to see exclusive new things early, I'm going to be rewarding my members. And THANE is a huge part of that. Right here, right now. Huge motivation to do that. It's not just like, hey, I'm a member and I have a little badge next to my name. Like, no. You're going to get exactly what's on there, what's on the description. It keeps us working. This is a huge, huge, huge blessing. Thank you, Nicole, for saying that. Huge blessing. And I'm happy. Like, look at Mike. Like, Mike is in my chat all the time. Now I see the little thing next to his name. I'm like, THANE probably did that. You know, like, whew, amazing. And this channel has been hitting some strides. I have the right editor after years of searching, and we work so well. We're finally getting stuff down right. You know, you guys are here. We've got some live streams going. Last week, I did a collab with Nick Ricadis, the #1 live stream on my channel. Your girl's about to hit 20K. Like, I'm working really hard to do this. And of course, av7digital.com is alive right now. So that means if you're an aspiring law student and you want some advice, you can book some time with me. If you are an aspiring YouTuber and you want some advice, you can book some time with me. If you actually want some business advice, put some time with me. But even that, THANE is like one of those people, and all of you guys that have shared a super chat today, you're empowering me and giving me the time to be able to be an entrepreneur. So thank you. I mean, I don't have words for THANE. I mean, 200 memberships on one stream is so crazy. Thank you, THANE. And Ivan, let me tell you something. Don't ever go to war with THANE. I'm just telling you, Ivan, don't do it. Don't try it. Don't do it. I've tried. Don't. Ivan, no. But thank you, Ivan, because you are now at, I believe, what did we see? 10, 20? Are you at 50 or 40 memberships? I want to say this right. So I have 10. Yeah, 40 memberships. Ivan, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is very sweet of you, Ivan. Also, growing in the community and sharing. This is fantastic. 20 memberships, 40 actually, is super generous of you. Very, very sweet. So much more of you guys have access to this content earlier, and you're going to see things. You know, everybody was like, that was cute. That's the shirt. That's another thing on my to-do list. I need to set up the store so people can buy that shirt. You guys know about it first. So Ivan has unlocked that intel for you guys. Thane had the black card. Ivan has the Ivan has like that silver one. Like he's coming in like, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna help some folks out. So Ivan, that was really, really sweet. Thane, thank you as well. I mean, if you guys could type Ivan into the chat, that would also be fantastic. And then notably, I also want to give a huge shout out to M1, who's gifting 5 AV to the 7th Power memberships. Guys, this is important. It's going to be a rough year with all the news that's coming out. And like with the shenanigans with Fanny and Nathan. I don't think this stops this week. I truly don't. I truly do not think that this stops this week. There's a lot of layers being peeled back right now, and we're learning so much more about it. We're learning how deep this goes. I had no idea that Nathan Wade was saying this is up here comment in 2020. Did you guys know that he was saying this? That it's up here? Did you guys know that he was saying that in 2020? Who knew? He was saying this like 2-3 years ago. Not even 4. A year later, he gets assigned as a special prosecutor to a case he's not qualified for? Where we just watch some dude die in jail under your watch? Someone's going to have to uncover all of this corruption. You guys are going to be like, oh my God, where's AV? I don't want to lock you outside yet. So you better say thank you to Thane and to Ivan. Because you have a key right now. You have the key. And it's a digital key. You know those key cards where you go to a place and you like tap your key on the door? They gave you those. Ivan gave you the blue key and Thane gave you the black key. Right? And when I say that, I mean black card, top tier. You get into all the classified areas. You better thank them for your keys. I'm just saying. Anywho, here's what we can expect. Today's ruling's all set. Tomorrow we have whatever is coming. I'm just going to watch the news and you guys watch us. Notifications on. You're going to know when we go live. Friday is the deadline for Judge McAfee to tell us if Fanny's going to stay on this case or to leave this case. What he has told us is that he is on track to make that decision. Okay. So the next 48 hours, guys, it's going to be busy. Make sure you stay locked in, but make sure you also watch your favorite YouTubers. Not like people you're like, oh yeah, there's a 15-minute video. Like, no, watch us. We're the best. You know that. You know that. Well, listen, guys, it has been about 2 hours. I want to thank everyone that has contributed to this stream. Real quick, Alex, I got you. He says, thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, Alex. Like, thank you for saying that too. You know, I think the first week when this came out, Lead and I went 7 days straight streaming. 7 days, back to back to back to back to back. No breaks. Every single day streaming with you guys for like 5-6 hours at a time. The other day, I fell asleep the other day just because I was so tired. I've been like randomly falling asleep because this case is literally taking some time out of me. And I am so sorry that I did this. But I'm going back to Cash Apps because Miss Truth, Lies, and Opinions deserves her respect too. If you guys could do me a favor and type in TLO. Truth, Lies, and Opinions, a veteran to this country, has sent me $120 on Cash App. And she says, I'll always, in caps, I will always have your back. There's a bottle there. And I'm like, is it the back of the bottle? The bottom of the bottle? But shout out to TLO, Truth, Lies, and Opinions. I mean, guys, like I'll be on Lead stream every single stream. She's blessing me. I don't even care if it's $1 or whatever amount it is. Truth, Lies, and Opinions is one of the sisters. Like when I'm over there, it is nice to have some women supporting me. And TLO is one of those women. And I get like people say all types of wild stuff to me all the time. They have for 2 years. But right now is the time where like so many sisters are like, wow, you're really smart. Wow, I like your hair today. Wow, I like that recommendation you made. Or wow, I saw your face when you did that. I thought the same thing. It's just nice to be connected in this community, men and women alike. But for the sisters, I think for the first time in a while, I think if ever, now I'm starting to see like a tremendous amount of love from the women. And that means a lot to me. So TLO, thank you. Thank you. I'm excited for your YouTube journey. You let me know whenever you're ready. Like you want to shout it out, you let me know. Right? Like we are here. And you have my back, I will have yours as well. Thank you so much, sis. $120, super generous. I can't thank you enough. And then, of course, guys, y'all want to guess who has the last Cash App of the night? Shout out to JC, who sends $5. He says, I'll be in ATL this weekend. Would love to chat. All right. With that being said, thank you guys for all the love tonight. Can't thank you enough. Really worked hard today. Try to put this together, get this research down fast so we can get it out to you guys fast. But just know we will be on watch for tomorrow and Friday. Make sure your notifications are on, that you're watching. Cannot wait to see you in the next one. Really want to shout out TLO, Truth, Lies, and Opinions, for being a strong sister in the chat. Few notable folks, like I really want to shout out Ivan. I really want to shout out a few others. But I cannot skip THANE Mithra, who knocked it out of the frame. I mean, $100 super, 50 memberships, another 50 memberships, switched accounts, did another 50 memberships, did another 50 memberships. It's insane. Ivan doing his thing. Ivan out here with 40 memberships. You guys are so sweet. And I really love this community. I want to thank you guys all for watching. If y'all can end this stream, because we know how to type in THANE. But if we can type in Metalas, that would be fantastic. I will see you guys in the next one. Please be safe out there. We'll see you in the next one, and we'll continue to watch how this Fanny debacle goes down. See you soon. Bye.